Will DH bat second. Mike Moustakas at third base hits third. Salvador Perez will catch and hit cleanup. Lucas Duda is at first base batting fifth. Whit Merrifield at second base bats sixth. Alex Gordon is in left field hitting seventh. Alcides Escobar, the shortstop, bats eighth, and Abraham Almonte, the switch hitting center fielder, bats ninth.
Defense for the Indians, they are rated 11th in the league. They have made 26 errors. It'll be Brantley, Allen, and Geyer in the outfield. And Ramirez, Lindor on the left side, Kipnis, Alonso on the right. Gomes is doing the catching, and that defense brought to you by Jeep.
Gary Cederstrom, the crew chief, will call the balls and strikes. Corey Blazer is at first. Stu Sherwater at second. Eric Cooper down at third base. Tom Bochetic tells us the wind will be blowing in out of the northeast at 18 miles per hour. However, he does not have an American meteorological seal of approval.
All right, as long as we clarified that. But he might have one by the time we get home. He is going to school.
Is he? Yeah. It's an online school, but
he's going.
Mike Clevenger trying to get the Indians back in the win column. He's done a nice job when following a Tribe loss. And his first pitch today is a fastball strike to John Jay. Even with the starters running into some rough luck here of late, overall the starting pitching has been very good for Cleveland. 15-9, the starters' record collectively, and a .357 earned run average. And we've noted that you know, on average they're getting deeper into the game too.
Minimize your pitches. You know, that's one thing that this starting staff does. They throw a lot of strikes. They attack hitters. They may give up some solo home runs and things, but they do not walk a lot.
Foul out of play. John Jay got a piece. Count stays 2-2.
Clevenger, the fastball, slider, changeup, and a curveball.
And a foul out of play. Jay putting up a good at bat here. John Jay 1 for 5 in the ball game last night. He had a 2-run double, and that double snapped a string in which his previous 25 hits had all been singles. So that approach that you're seeing from him is kind of the hitter that he is right now. It's a contact, slap it, kind of look for the base hit, not a guy that's necessarily looking to turn one around or drive it.
Put it in play. Speed up his bat.
One hop off the glove of Kipnis, and Jay will reach. So the leadoff man aboard for Kansas City. We'll see how it's scored.
Well, Kip was ranging to his left. It's a one hopper. This is one of those, let me see, do or die. He was going to slide. He could have stayed right on his feet. But what he wanted to do was maybe do a pop-up slide. But that ball right there, that's a one hopper. That's a play I think he has to make. They will give him a base hit on the play, I believe.
They do. The official scoring decision, a hit, one hopper off the glove of Kipnis, and the Royals have their leadoff man aboard. Jorge Soler, the DH, looks at a breaking ball inside. Soler 1 for 6 last night. He reached on an error in the 6th inning, and that led to 3 runs for Kansas City. Inside, 2-0. Takes one to left. That's going to get down and go to the wall. Jay's on his way to third. Headed to second base is Soler, and he'll go in standing with a double. Second and third, nobody out right out of the gate for Kansas City.
Kansas City had 6 doubles last night and a home run as far as extra base hits go. Watch Soler get on a fastball down and in. He roped it down into the corner. So he put a good swing on that ball, and back-to-back hits now for Kansas City, and they are starting off right where they left off yesterday. They had 6 unanswered runs after the Indians had a 9-4 lead.
Here's Mike Moustakas. He was 3 for 5 last night with a double. And he waves at a good off-speed pitch.
Yeah, a good curveball, because Moustakas is a very aggressive hitter. He likes to swing at that first pitch, especially with runners in scoring position. So he had him off balance there.
The 0-1 pulls it to first. It's a foul ball just in front of the bag and went foul.
Close play, and you'll see where Alonso, boy, just outside the bag. He was looking to go home. I don't know if he would have had a chance at Jay, because he was off and running with everybody playing so deep.
Mike Moustakas set the Royals franchise record for home runs in a season last year with 38. Swung on and missed, and Mike Clevenger with a huge strikeout, 1 down.
Looked like it must have been a changeup down. Let's look at the sequence. It was a curveball, fastball, changeup. And he gets the strikeout, desperately needed, where a guy could not score. Moustakas didn't even bother running, making Gomes throw to first base on that, even though they had a man on third, so he gets the first out.
Here's Salvador Perez. He had the difference-making blow in last night's game with a 2-run homer in the 8th. Swung on and missed. Five homers and 15 runs batted in for Perez since he came off the disabled list. That covers his last 18 games. Squib towards second base. Kipnis will field it. He'll throw out Perez. It's his 16th RBI on the year. And Kansas City takes a 1-0 lead. And that is now 39 first inning runs for Kansas City this year, which is the most in the majors.
Number 21, the first baseman, Lucas Duda.
It's going to bring up Lucas Duda. This guy's been swinging a hot bat. 3 for 5 last night. All 3 hits were doubles for Duda.
And he seemed to be using the whole field last night, Matt. He was going every which way. Left field, center, pulling it.
Hitting .394 now in the month of May.
Yeah, he's having a nice month so far. Locked in. Well, that's the difference of the lineup that Tito was talking about. You get Perez back. That lengthens the lineup up. You get Gordon swinging the bat a little bit better. So now Duda slides into that number 5 hole. Merrifield, who was either 1 or 2 in the top of that lineup, is hitting 6th, and he's a really tough out on deck. So this right now is a really good lineup.
Center field, Greg Allen on the run. He makes the catch and hangs on, and the inning is over. Kansas City strikes first. They lead it 1-0. The Indians are coming to bat.
25-year-old right-hander will be making his third appearance and second start against the Indians in his career, but off to a good start this year. 4-2 with 318 earned run average. He has given up 10 home runs, and 12 of his 16 runs allowed have come via the home run.
Terry Francona's starting 9 brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Lindor, Brantley, Ramirez. Then it's Edwin Encarnacion, Yonder Alonso, and Jason Kipnis. Gomes, Allen, Geyer rounded out. Jacob Junis misses down low, ball 1. Lindor had his extra base hit streak snapped last night at 9 games, but he still has collected at least 1 hit in 12 straight. And during his tear, going 23, 55, 6 homers, a dozen runs batted in included. Lindor on the year here at Progressive Field, hitting .337. He shoots one down the left field line. That's a fair ball headed for the corner. Lindor on his way to second base, and he'll go in sliding with a leadoff double. That's his 12th double of the year.
Well, a nice stroke going the other way. Lindor's hit streak now at 13 games, and that's a pitch up, and just did the beautiful thing of staying on it, hitting it where it was pitched down into the corner. So another double for Lindor, and a good start here in the bottom half of the first.
It'll bring up Michael Brantley, a .333 hitter with runners in scoring position this year. Royals shift 3 on the right side of the infield, and the pitch is inside, ball 1. Storylines brought to you by Wayside Furniture. This is a Royals club that they're going to keep coming at you. We saw it last night. And Michael Brantley in the 2 spot in the order.
Paid dividends last night.
Brantley last night had 2 hits, including a grand slam. Line drive, base hit right through the shift. Coming around third, Lindor will be waved home. He will score, and the Indians have tied the game at 1 on Michael Brantley's 23rd run batted into the year.
Well, this game looks a lot like last night, and we're just getting started. First 2 hitters for the Indians, they tie the game up at 1, and Brantley doing the right thing. He got a curveball, he pulls it, but gets the bonus. Not only does he get Lindor over, he gets him in with a base knock, his 23rd RBI. So he singled in his first at bat last night in that number 2 hole.
Royals scored a run in the first. They've scored 38, most in the majors in the first inning, but it was the first inning run allowed by Mike Clevenger in any of his starts this year. For the Indians, that's their 28th first inning run of the season. The only inning, I mean, the only inning in which they've scored more runs than the first is the 4th inning. And they've scored 37 runs in the 4th. Those are their 2 biggest innings of the year. And now Jose Ramirez with a drive to deep left. Back goes Gordon. He'll pull it down shy of the track. And Brantley will hustle back to first base. 1 down.
Let's check out that Royals defense for you. After Gordon made that catch in left field, Almonte in center, Jay is over in right. And on the infield, Moustakas at third, Escobar at short, Merrifield at second, Dudays at first, and Perez back behind the plate.
Here is Edwin Encarnacion. Just 3 hits in his last 20 at-bats. And over his last 5 games, only 1 run batted in. And He pops his pitch straight up on the infield. Merrifield lets it drop.
Well, they just wanted to have Encarnacion on first base compared to Brent. So that's not a bad play by Merrifield. Did that on his own, obviously. Drop it, make Encarnacion run.
Nothing Brantley can do there.
No, I mean, you stay right there. You drop it. They're just choosing who they want on base. That's all. That's the decision that he made.
A lot harder for Encarnacion to score from first
Yes.
than it would be for Brantley. So it's a smart move. Yonder Alonso, 1 for 3 last night. He hit a home run. It came in the first inning, and that would make it a lot easier for Encarnacion to score from first. Slow start to the month of May for Alonso. Just 6 hits so far. And the funny thing is he, at the end of April, he homered in 3 straight games. First time he'd done that in his career. But sometimes, Arch, we have seen, especially with home run hitters, when they get into a groove, as hot as they are, they can go just as quickly the other way in a hurry.
Well, yes, but I don't consider Alonso a home run hitter. Home runs will come from quality at bats. But you know, last year he had a career year, hit 28 homers. You know, prior to that, there wasn't that many, so I don't consider him a homer hitter. Although he can put a good swing on the baseball and get a home run like he did last night and take it the other way. That's when you want to see staying on the baseball, using the whole field. Don't get pull happy and try and hit homers, because that's when it'll stop.
Perez tries to throw to second. Encarnacion in there safely. Salvador Perez caught a break in that the ball hit home plate umpire Gary Cederstrom's foot, so it never got to the backstop. But Edwin took off.
That's why they call him Fast Eddie. He gets himself into scoring position, but it's heads up, man. That's paying attention, and it's getting himself into scoring position right now. Base hit, he should be able to score. Sure, that's got to be a wild pitch.
Three-two count, and Alonso pops it up, foul, and it's going to get out of play. The wind's just going to push that right on out of there. The 3-2, and Alonso pops it foul, the exact same spot. Kansas City not employing a true shift. They keep the shortstop Escobar on the left side of the infield, but look how far over Merrifield is pulled out onto the outfield grass. Eighth pitch of the at-bat for Yonder Alonso. 2 down, 1-1 game. And he's down on strikes to end the frame. The Indians come right back. Lindor doubles, Brantley brings him home. It's 1-1 after 1 in Cleveland.
at home or on the go with MLB TV. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat, allowing you to watch live baseball on all your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply.
Yeah, it's still that kind of weather here in Cleveland. The crazy thing is our man Andre Knott told us when he left his home this morning, just south of our fair city, it was 76 degrees.
Where's he live, in Florida?
Flies in on a jet every day.
He has
of course
a private jet.
Yeah, right.
If I lived in Florida, I'd have a tan like you.
You do.
It's natural. It was. I had sunglasses on.
Oh, one pitch. I heard as Merrifield promptly lines a base hit in the left field. It was in the 80s down in Columbus today. So, yeah, we're just.
That's supposed to be like that tomorrow, too.
Yeah.
Well, except it's not getting up this far because we're near the lake. That's what Tom Bochenik's filming.
Oh, here we go again. Well, Alex Gordon 0 for 4 yesterday. Will bat here with Whit Merrifield at first to start the second inning. Sometimes you run into a team when they're hot. And even though Kansas City's record is just 13-25, collectively, they're swinging the bats very well. What we saw last night, what we've seen right out of the gate here today.
Well, 15 hits last night for him, 6 extra base hits. We went to New York and found a hot team.
Yankees played early today. They beat the A's 7-6 after Oakland swatted them last night.
Yeah, they won that in extra innings. Neil Walker had a walk-off, or not a walk-off. Yeah, it was a walk-off. They're still in New York.
And the 1-1. Slowly chopped to third. Ramirez. He's going to look to second. Goes there. Gets the force. Ramirez tries to turn two. But they will not get the speedy Gordon. Alonso able to knock it down. One away.
Well, he does get the lead runner. He tried. I'm not so sure that was a good throw by Lindor with Gordon going down the line, because he could have thrown it away. And I'll tell you, Alonso makes a nice play to come off the bag and just keep it in front of him. You know, that one right there, don't try that throw. You're not going to get him. He had no chance.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. It looked like the footwork of Lindor was just kind of messed up on that.
That's why you just hold the ball. You don't have to throw it.
Well, he's probably messed up because he's coming from the other side of the bag.
Well,
you know,
and into the runner.
Well, and the thing I would say to this, and we heard Tito talk about it before the game started, most players you would worry about with the errors Frankie's made over the last week. Does that play show that he's not concerned about the errors and he's still going to be aggressive? I agree with you, Arch. It's not a good throw, but he's still aggressively playing the game and not playing
still, to me, that's not a wise throw. There's nothing good that can come out of that throw because he wasn't going to get him.
To answer your question, yes.
Thank you.
Because great players, they have no fear of failure.
Right.
They understand that's part of the business, that's part of the deal. But if you start playing timid, if you start thinking about, well, I can't make a mistake, then the mistakes pile up in a hurry. Gordon at first with one out. Alcides Escobar 2 for 4 last night. He drove in 4 runs. In some ways, you could say it was an unconventional manner in which he drove him in. He had the RBI single in the first. He walked with the bases loaded to drive in a run in the third. He had a fielder's choice, drove in a run in the fifth, and then another RBI hit in the sixth. So 4 different at-bats, 4 RBIs.
A couple of singles, yeah. Just make sure you get the job done. Get him in from third.
What do you always say? A swinging bat is a dangerous bat.
Yes,
Put the ball in play, and sometimes good things will happen for you. And sometimes, with the bases loaded, a swinging bat is not dangerous. You don't have to swing.
Well, with the guy we're talking about, he likes to swing, and he finds a way to put the bat on the ball.
Could be 2 here. Lindor to Kip. Kip on to Alonso. A 2-for-1 ball gets Clevenger out of the second. And we stay tied at 1, middle of inning number 2. Half of the second. Jason Kipnis will lead it off. Then it's Yan Gomes and Greg Allen. Fouled back out of play. Chopped up the gut. Cut off by Escobar. One down. Let's go down to Andre.
Well, Ty Van Berkeley thinks very much of Junis. He says his fastball is a fastball slider guy. Will throw the changeup to lefties. He says what stands out about him is the slider. So it's not the best one that you can see, but the way it comes out of his hand, it locks hitters up at times. He knows how to pitch, not overpowering, but he's a guy that's pitched a lot of innings for the Royals so far this season, and that slider is the pitch. Arch, you talked about the home runs he's given up. That's the pitch he's given them up on, but he's gotten strikeouts with it as well.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
Yan Gomes. Fouls one off down the right side, 1-1.
Well, for Junis, he has good control, only 9 walks, so he's going to be around the strike zone. Oh, wow. Until that pitch. That was up and behind. It looked like behind Gomes. Let's take another look and see. That was like a two-seam fastball. He has to get down, man. He's got to take the elevator down to the lower level.
I'm guessing that falls under the category if it just slipped. Not sure why Cedarstrom is taking extra time here. Maybe he's checking on Gomes.
I don't know. Maybe there was some communication going on there. I don't know.
Low and away. 3 balls and a strike. Three on the left side of the infield for the Royals. 3-1 pitch, and Gomes had a vicious hack, but fouls it straight back. Full count.
He got the he got the fastball he was looking for in that 3-1 count and fouled it straight back. Now with Junis's breaking ball, they call it a slider, but it looks more like a curve to me because it's about 80 to 81 going up and down. There's another fastball fouled off.
Another 3-2 breaking ball, and Gomes sends one to right field where John Jay makes the catch for out number 2.
This one here was a smaller break to it. Looks like there's the slider there. That looks like the slider. You can see it was spinning right there. That was a good one to hit. Stay back, but you're hitting it against the wind today, fellas. Play the elements. Get the line drive stroke out.
Greg Allen, he did not fare well against the elements last night. He hit 3 balls to center field. Big part of the yard. And Greg's not a power hitter. He went too far and the count 0-2. Bradley Zimmer still sidelined with a chest contusion. He was in the original starting lineup. Ball gets away. Allen strikes out. Perez throws him out. Inning over. Indians go 1-2-3. We're tied at 1 after 2 in Cleveland. so far this year. A little better than half the time he's using the fastball than the slider.
Slider's his second favorite. He's got a very good changeup that he uses. So those three are really quality pitches. And we did see in Baltimore that curveball can be very effective for him as well. When he didn't have that slider early, he went to the curveball.
Abraham Almonte 2 for 5 last night, scored a run. Almonte drives one deep center field. Greg Allen is back and makes the catch just before he got to the warning track. 1 down.
That should tell you right there that ball was hit very well, and it did just barely got to the warning track if it did. So as a pitcher, he hit a nice fastball, and there's Allen catching it before he got to the warning track.
This reminds us of some of those early April
Right.
games already.
That win, go ahead. You can be a little more aggressive, I think, as a pitcher now.
As John Jay comes to the plate, we go down to Andre Knott.
All right, riddle me this, guys, and we'll go through this after this pitch. For all the great numbers on Mike Clevenger, and they've been great so far, 103 is what hitters hit against him the first time through. Second time through, they're hitting 333. Third time, 203. Now, I asked him about this as this ball gets hit right towards us, and he said that he knows he has to show different looks the second time through. Then I asked him about the average the third time through, and he looked at me and he shrugged, and he said, I have no idea why it's working the third time, but not the second. Arch, any reason why the second time through
Well,
they're hitting this well?
maybe the second time you don't necessarily have to change your pattern. If you can get them out the first time until they make an adjustment, then I would say, you know, unless you know a guy's on your stuff. You know, if you throw him a couple of change-ups and he's on it and he's looking for it, then you may want to change something. But if you get him out and you're breezing through that first time, don't change.
Matt, he told us in New York before that start in New York that this is the next step for him is to figure that out, that he knows he can't blow it by everybody, that the chess match is the part that he's got to figure out now.
Exactly.
And his shoes may get him in trouble again today.
Well,
but
he'll figure that out. You know what, Andre? They'll figure it out. He'll get it going.
Mike's broken out the Mother's Day spikes for today. He's got his daughter Penelope and Piper, their names on the back of his shoes, his wife Monica. The ball in the alley. No one's going to catch this one. But it falls on the grass shy of the warning track, and into second with a double is John Jay, his second double of the series now. Rare that you see a ball travel that far and just drop shy of the warning track.
The win, baby.
But they had him played the other way.
I know. There's nothing you could do here. Nobody would have been able to get there because if Allen was so far over in left center, maybe Geyer should have been more off the line. Not to say he could have caught the ball now, but you know that was an awfully big hole.
So go ahead run in the scoring position for Jorge Soler. Now he yanked the double to left his first time up.
It was a fastball down and in.
Bounced in front of the plate. Good block by Yan Gomes. A ball and a strike. Soler has been good in the clutch for Kansas City. 8 out of 24 with runners in scoring position. And 11 of his 17 runs batted in. And he lines one to right. That's going to be a fair ball. Into the corner it goes. Kansas City regains the lead. Into second base goes Soler with his second double of the afternoon, and that's already 3 doubles for Kansas City here today.
I'm going to tell you, that guy hit a good pitch right there. This is down and away. You take his first at bat, which was down and in, he doubled down the left field line. The second at bat, he takes a fastball down and away, and he lined it down the right field line. I'll tell you what, that is great hitting right there. They'll take a 2-1 lead. And if you want to make an adjustment, don't throw him a fastball for a strike. Go to curveball and changeups now.
Now Mike Moustakas struck out his first time up, and it was on 3 pitches. Swings through a fastball.
Top 2 guys 4 for 4 in the lineup.
And Moustakas with a liner caught by Kipnis. He'll go back to second base, and they get a double play to end the inning. Lindor with a great job to scoop the short hop, and that'll end the frame, but not before Kansas City turns a pair of doubles into the go-ahead run. Half of the third, and we remind you to stay tuned later in the game for our Miller Lite Hold True moment. Not exactly baseball weather.
Tightened up right there. Doesn't like that wind blowing in.
Yeah, 48 at game time, but it's that breeze blowing right in out of the northeast off the lake that's really chilled things off. Let's see what they say the wind chill is today. Cold. Only 5 degrees cooler than the game time temperature, so 43 degrees. The 1-1 in for a strike. Spun him out of there. Low and away, full count. Good at bat for Geyer as he lays off a tough pitch there. Down on strikes. Geyer strikes out, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Third strikeout for Junis. One down here in the third. Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. The most home runs allowed this year in the majors. Cincinnati's given up 58. Royals and Indians right behind them. And that certainly has been a problem for the Indians here of late. In their last 15 games, the Tribe has allowed 31 homers. And if you want to take that a step further, they've also given up 41 doubles. So 72 doubles or homers combined in the last 15 games. Francisco Lindor doubled and scored in the first. Lindor drives one deep down the right field line. It's a fair ball and gone, I think. No, yes, it is a home run. There's the official sign from the umpire at first base, Corey Blazer. Lindor just did clear the wall and right, and that'll be his 11th home run of the year, and we're back to even at 2 apiece.
Boy, that ball looked like it might have hit the yellow line or just above it and it came back. It was awfully close, but he hit it in the right spot. It was about 10 feet off the line. It'll be off, just over the fence. Watch the railings here. He picked on a pitch inside, and let's see, right there. Yes, hit the railing and came straight back. So if you see 5 feet over, that little cutout there at the end of the line. So Frankie Lindor gets his 11th.
His 11th, but Arch, this is incredible. The run he's on. That's his 7th home run in his last 13 games. Michael Brantley waves at a pitch.
He's been an extra base machine. He has 12 doubles now and 11 home runs.
Missed inside.
Guys, last weekend we were in New York and we made a big deal about the size of some of their guys, Stanton as well as Judge. But the guy that leads baseball in home runs right now, Mookie Betts,
you're right,
5'11". How tall is Frankie Lindor? 5'10". And he's right up there with 11. Jose Ramirez is 5'8". He's at 11. The kid down in Atlanta, the second baseman, he has 12 home runs. He's only 5'8", 5'7". It's not all about the size, Arch. You can be any size nowadays. Baez with the Cubs has 10 home runs. He's only 5'11". Just shows that the little guys are able to swing it nowadays, and they're allowing them to swing it.
Yeah, they're strong.
Michael Brantley sends one to center field. Almonte circles under it, 2 down.
And I bring that up because when you played, Arch, if you were under 6 foot or 5'11", were you allowed to swing away and go further downs?
I don't think it was a matter of height. I just think that if you weren't a 25 home run guy, they wouldn't let you swing. They wouldn't let you strike out.
Well, I guess the question really is, how do we know if a guy is or isn't now? Because now everyone's basically allowed to go for it.
Jose Ramirez, not a big guy at all, but he's got 11 home runs on the year. Jose Ramirez with a fly ball to center. And the inning is over. But Francisco Lindor with a bolt down the right field line just did clear the wall in right, and we are tied at 2.
T-Mobile presents Hats Off for Heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Back here at Progressive Field on a chilly mid-May afternoon. 2-2 our score, 4th inning. Salvador Perez to lead off for Kansas City. That's about what you would expect Ricky Vaughn to look like if he were to show up here today.
Good pitch.
Is it 30 years? Are we the 30-year anniversary?
Yeah,
of
it
that
was
movie?
89.
Was it 88 or 89?
89.
Oh, okay. Next year will be 30 years. Jimmy Vaughn. Perez a swing and a miss. 1-2. He drove in a run in the first with an RBI ground out. Fouls a breaking ball back. Count stays 1-2. Tigers lead the Mariners 4-3. They're in the 8th inning in Detroit. Tigers started the day 15-21.
Canceled last night.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So they have a double dip, one to go after.
A 1-2 pitch. Oh high. Cubs lead the White Sox 5-0. They're in the 6th inning. That game at Wrigley Field. John Lester going for the Cubs. Boy, the White Sox just 9-26 on the year. They've lost 6 in a row. Fastball just in off the plate. Twins came from behind last night to beat the Angels. They'll be in action later tonight. Minnesota just a half game back of Cleveland. And the Twins have won 7 out of 10. The 3-2. Back our way.
Well, 0-2 to 3-2. So
8th pitch of the at bat right here for Perez, and another foul. That ball went up the screen and made it up into the suites, huh?
it did not come down. Somebody made a good play.
Oh, he got away with a hanger there.
Well, he got away with 1-2 pitches before that as well. Kansas City so far today, 11 foul balls with 2 strikes. So they've been able to make Clevenger work a little bit more than normal. Look at that. There's the breaking ball he was on as a hitter. He said, I want that one back.
To left, Michael Brantley. 1 down.
Well, you can still get a prorated Tribe season ticket package for the best seats at the best prices. You'll save big over single game prices and get exclusive perks. Just go to Indians.com for more details.
Lucas Duda way out in front. Curveball in the dirt.
Well, here's another hitter where you can tell by the way he's taking the ball, he's seeing it very well. No matter what Clevenger throws up there, he's getting a pretty good look at it.
2-1 is a good fastball, but it's just off the plate. There's a line drive over the head of Jason Kipnis, and a 1-out single for Kansas City here in the 4th.
Ball hit very hard. 3-1 count. Got the fastball he was looking for. Good low ball hitter. Boy, he put a nice swing on it. Lined it into right field. Kipnis had no chance. This ball is coming off the bat at 109 miles per hour.
Whit Merrifield singled his first time up. Kansas City with a half a dozen hits. Indians have been able to turn a couple of double plays behind Mike Clevenger.
I'll tell you, this tells you how Kansas City's swinging the bat. You know, today Clevenger, after getting 0-1, and usually he's pretty good after he gets to that count, they're 5 for 9.
Boy, that was beautiful. 1-2. Second time through the order here, you can see the chess match evolving between Clevenger and the hitters. High heat. Merrifield got on top of it, drives it to deep right. Back goes Geyer, making the catch. And that is out number 2. Let's head over to Al Pulaski with a game break.
All right, Matt, Rick, Baltimore and Tampa played a doubleheader today in game 1. Manny Machado leaves the yard here, 13th time this year. And Baltimore wins game 1 6-3 as they went ahead then and never trailed. Second game is tied at 1 between Tampa and Baltimore on a sunny day at Camden Yards. It'd be nice to have this weather here.
Boy, I know, kid, they're sweating in Baltimore, and we're getting sweatshirts here.
It would be nice, either that or where Andre lives, it would be nice to be playing there.
Let's move the game to Andre's house tomorrow. What do you say, Andre? Put some lawn chairs out, fire up the grill.
Oh, the kids would love it. Mother's Day special. The kids
right.
would love it. They'll have them run around the bases for you and everything. Mom might not like it.
Yeah, here on the lakefront, it is chilly once again. The 0-1 pitch. Gordon fouling it straight back. Hey, special birthday wishes going out today to our buddy, the General, Cody Westmoreland. 48 years old down in Louisiana.
Oh, all right, Cody, happy birthday, my friend.
There's the 0-2 curveball, and he struck him out. That's the second K for Clevenger. And we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Indians Royals tied at 2. deadlocked at 2 apiece. Bottom of the 4th inning. Edwin Encarnacion, Yonder Alonso, and Jason Kipnis due up for the Tribe. Edwin takes a called strike. Fly ball deep to center. Back goes Almonte.
Today.
Makes the catch.
Not today.
Long way. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Bradley Zimmer was in the original starting lineup today, but he was a late scratch, still dealing with the after effects of that collision with a wall in New York. Tyler Naquin officially put on the DL with a hamstring injury, and Tyler Olson back from paternity leave. Yonder Alonso, high in the air to left. Back is Gordon. 2 down.
Hey, just to add a little bit on the Bradley Zimmer injury, next 24 hours could be big. As you mentioned earlier, he was in the lineup today. Then when he went through some BP, the coaches could see he was wincing as he was swinging the bat. If he's not better tomorrow, there could be some movement upon what they do with Bradley Zimmer. Just pay attention to that. And Naquin, I talked to about a half hour ago, he doesn't feel that bad. He thinks that this should be a quick injury. He says he's never felt it actually pull. You know when you usually get a hamstring muscle or hamstring, you can feel it. He said he never felt anything. It was more or less like it just cramped up on him and hasn't gotten much better since then.
All right, something to keep an eye on for sure. Jason Kipnis takes a strike. He's in the hole 0-2.
Well, he was walking off. He thought he had a strike on the outside corner, but Junis is grabbing the ball. He's getting it. He's working quickly, and he thought he had that break him a little off.
Another fly ball to left. Indians trying to fight Mother Nature.
You can't do that today. You'll lose.
1, 2, 3 they go. We go to the 5th, tied at 2. Brought to you by the 2018 Kia Sorento, the perfect getaway vehicle. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. And by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. 2-2, 5th inning here in Cleveland. Alcides Escobar will lead off for Kansas City. He's 0 for 1 today. He was an impending free agent at the end of last year in Kansas City. That was the biggest story of their season last year. How many free agents they had, who was coming back, who would not be with the club any longer once the year ended. Escobar re-signed. He was the first guy to re-sign in the offseason. Later, After offers elsewhere dried up, Mike Moustakas also re-signed. But they lost a slew of good players. Eric Hosmer, Lorenzo Cain, Ian Kennedy, and Jason Vargas. Vargas ended up signing with the New York Mets. And Larry Stone, who's a longtime writer out in Seattle. Remember how we heard around sometime early spring training, there was a player agent who was making a lot of noise saying the players are outraged. This is ridiculous. All these free agents are still out there and they're not signed. Well, Larry Stone of the Seattle Times said these 4 free agent starting pitchers, Jason Vargas, who's with the Mets, Jason Kipnis will take care of this, Alex Cobb, who signed with Baltimore, Yu Darvish, who signed with the Cubs, and Lance Lynn, who's with Minnesota. Those 4 starting pitchers, who were all free agents, signed for a combined $57 million this year alone. They're making $57 million combined for this year. And they are a combined 1-13 with a 7.81 earned run average.
How about that?
And so this isn't a pointing fingers who's right, who's wrong, but more of a, hey, before you go out there and start beating the drum and screaming foul play, maybe just let the process play out, because
that's right.
I think these GMs nowadays across baseball, you know, it's not like the old days. You know, they've got limited dollars and allocations they have to work with, and they're not just going to say, well, this guy was pretty good last year, let's give him $10 million.
Well, Vargas was a guy that won what, 12 games in the first half last year, 12, almost 13, and in the second half he was not very good. You know, and he went on, and that's true. Some of these guys, they thought they were going to get the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but it just didn't turn out that way this year. I think a lot of people were. I mean, that's how Mike Moustakas came back to Kansas City.
Right.
He thought he was going to go out and people wanted him, and he thought he was going to the Angels or a couple of different places. And he was a late sign coming back to KC, and he signed a 1-year deal for, what was it, $6 million or something like that.
It was not what his agent led him to believe it was going to be. Full count on Almonte.
And I mean, he's doing fine. He's hitting 300, has 10 homers, and 29 RBIs.
Right.
But still, you know what? You don't have to be guaranteed 5 and 6 years. Go have another good year, and you'll get another nice contract.
3-2 pitch in the air to left. Brantley going back. This ball's carrying pretty well, just shy of the wall. He makes the catch. 2 down, and that'll take us to the top of the order. And again, this isn't like, hey, let's take sides, owners versus players. And I think there's certainly arguments to be made on both cases for each individual player. But you can't just blanket everybody and say, well, all these guys should be signed to long-term contracts, because frankly, I think the guys who are in charge of the purse strings, the GMs, they're the ones that, their neck's on the line when they extend these contracts. They're looking at it saying, well, is this really a smart business deal for us long-term? The answer more often than not has been no lately. The Royals go 1-2-3. Home half of the 5th coming up. Tied at 2. field. Bottom third of the order due up. Jan Gomes, Greg Allen, Brandon Geyer. Gomes fouling it back out of play.
Well, I'll tell you, Jake Junis, he gets the ball, he's ready, he doesn't mess around. He gets it and he works quickly. For Junis on the year in innings 1, 2, 3, his ERA comes out to a 1.29. The Indians, that's when they've scored their 2 runs. 4, 5, and 6 is when his ERA goes up to a 5.12. He had a quick 1, 2, 3 inning in the 4th. We'll see what he does in the 5th and 6th.
He's retired 5 in a row since the Lindor homer tied the game at 2 in the bottom of the 3rd.
You know, the Royals have 7 wins as a starting staff this year. Junis has 4 of those.
Mid-game recap brought to you by your Toyota dealers. Bottom of the 1st, Indians down a run. Michael Brantley tied it with an RBI single, scoring Lindor. Jorge Soler put the Royals ahead 2-1 with a double in the 3rd, scoring John Jay. And Frankie answered that in the bottom of the 3rd with his 11th home run.
Yeah, they've been able to come right back after Kansas City scored. They had a response for him in both the 1st and the 3rd.
Here's Greg Allen, struck out his first time up. 0 for 9 since getting the call up. You hear the phrase sometimes, the scouts will say the game is speeding up on him. And that just appears to be where Greg Allen is right now. Last year when he got the call up, he had a full season of minor league ball under his belt. Came up in September, played a meaningful role with some of the injuries, especially to Bradley Zimmer. Did a nice job. The 1-2. And he's out looking here.
And they have a scouting report on him more so this year than they did last.
5th strikeout for Junis. And there are 2 down here in the inning for Brandon Geyer. Geyer struck out his first time up. And the count quickly goes to 0-2. Checks his swing. Got a piece. Did Perez hold on?
Yes,
he
did.
did. He strikes out the side on 11 pitches here in the 5th.
Always KeyBank Kids Fun Day. After the game, kids get to run the bases. It is presented by Cleveland Clinic Children's. Just go to Indians.com for the tickets.
Now some of those youngsters here today scored a Frankie Lindor Mr. Smile shirt.
Yes, they did. They're wearing them too.
Jorge Soler leading off for Kansas City. A couple of doubles and a run batted in this afternoon for Soler. And as you pointed out earlier,
boy,
don't throw the fastball because he's
not down.
He's been hitting it hard. There's a breaking ball in the hole. Lindor tries to make a play, but just no chance. And Soler is a perfect 3 for 3.
He just placed that one beautifully. It was a breaking ball. Got it off the end of the bat. The only chance they had is if Ramirez could get to it. He could not, so he's had a very good day. Once it gets by Jose, there's no chance for Lindor. So the leadoff man aboard here in the 6th.
And up comes Mike Moustakas, who lined into a double play his last time up. And here we go, as Andre talked to us earlier, third time through the order.
Yep. Well, they were 3 for 9. Their second time through.
Same as they were first time, right?
Yes.
Well, the top 2 guys have all the damage today.
Yes, they do.
Oh, way out in front of it. Boy, did he pull the string on that breaking ball. That tells you that the arm action he's throwing that pitch with is really good, because Moustakas, the good hitter who's coming off a night in which he had 3 doubles. Breaks his bat. Center field, Greg Allen. 1 away.
Well, that's been a very good pitch for Club at times this year when he has that curveball. And you say he can change speeds with it? Just watch that pitch. You know, normally they'll sit slider, but way out in front of it. You can slow it down not only to the lefties, but the righties. And now that's a good hitter right there as well. That are swinging the bat good, but that curveball really takes something off. That's the slowest pitch, and it's just tantalizing to a hitter when they see it. They see it. You swing, you're still out in front. It's tough to stay back on that curveball.
Salvador Perez fouls one back. He's 0 for 2, but drove in a run with a ground out in the first. Another good outing to this point for Mike Clevenger. He has allowed 7 hits, but 4 of those between John Jay and Jorge Soler. Excuse me, 5 of the 7 hits between the top 2 hitters in the lineup.
To take him off the breaking ball, or the pitch is down in the zone. He's been able to get 2 double plays. He had 1 in the second, a 6-4-3, and then a line drive to Kipnis where they turned a double play in the third. He could use one here. You get Perez to hit it on the ground. You have a good chance of turning one.
Swung on and missed at the slider. And the runner Soler will go to second base as the ball got away on a wild pitch, but there are 2 down in the inning. 3rd strikeout for Clevenger.
It's coming back, a good breaking ball, and you get him to chase right there. Change the eye levels, and he wanted to hit, so he goes after that. He wouldn't have been able to hit that pitch. That was nowhere near the strike zone. Clevenger gets his 3rd strikeout, but in the wild pitch, Soler advances into scoring position at second base.
Lucas Duda, he singled through the right side. in the 4th inning. This time Jason Kipnis charges in and makes the play to end the inning. Middle of the 6th, tied at 2. Lindor will lead it off. Before he does, we lead off with Andre Nunn.
Well, Frankie's off to a great start against Junis, but these two go all the way back to their high school days. They played on an all-star team for a week. Frankie was, of course, at shortstop. You want to guess where Junis was at?
Catcher.
No, second base.
Wow, big second baseman.
Yeah, no kidding. When I asked Frankie about it, Frankie says, yeah, I remember it, but...
He drives one up the alley in left center field. Gordon over to cut it off. He will, but Lindor's going for 2. Here's the throw. It's offline, and Lindor's in there safely with a hustle double. His 3rd hit of the game.
I got to tell you, he's had a beautiful stroke this afternoon. Doubled down the line the first time up, the left field on a pitch away. He's going to turn on a pitch inside in his 2nd at-bat and hit a dinger, and then go to left center field in his 3rd at-bat. He has been locked in, man. 3 pretty at-bats. All 3 extra base hits, and there's your start here to the 6th inning. He has 3 of the 4 hits, so it's the top 2 guys in each lineup.
Yeah. I'll tell you after this pitch who the other guys were on this team that these two played on.
Michael Brantley takes a strike. Go ahead.
So it was Daniel Vogelbach, who we've seen out in Seattle, and Dante Bichette Jr. were all on this same team. So Frankie goes, I remember him. He goes, but we had so many good players. I only remember him tossing me the ball when I was at second base.
Well, when you think about it, you know, Lindor was a top pick coming out of high school. Junis was a 29th round pick by Kansas City.
Yeah, that's a scary thing.
At a Rock Falls High School in Illinois. Even when he got called up last year, he was having dinner with his wife in Omaha after a game, and he answered his cell phone and said, "You're not making your next start in Omaha, you're going to the big leagues." And he said, "I was completely shocked." He throws that almost into center field. Luckily, Escobar was behind the bag.
He was paying attention. You normally don't have to throw that.
Look at Escobar going, whoo.
Yeah, you don't expect him. You just expect him to turn, not throw. Always have to be ready, don't you?
Frankie said, "I see you back there." Brantley in the hole, 0-2. Up and away.
Now, Andre, when did he start pitching if he was a second baseman then? Do you know?
He was a part-time pitcher, but they didn't think that highly of him as a pitcher, but he was a bigger kid. Couldn't play shortstop over Frankie, so he was playing up the middle. He pitched in relief at the time before he got drafted.
I don't think I don't think he really truly became a pitcher until he turned pro. There's a base hit down the line. Michael Brantley has broken the tie. Lindor scores. Brantley into second base with an RBI double. It's 3-2 Cleveland. Brantley's second run batted in of the afternoon. Give him 24 on the year.
Well, it's a battle of the top 2 hitters in each lineup between these two teams, and Brantley drops the barrel head on this curveball. I mean, that's down there. Look at Perez was going to block it in the dirt, and he just throws the head and it gets it past Duda at first base. He cruises into second, his second RBI, his second hit.
So far, the top 2 hitters in each lineup. The Royals' top 2 hitters have combined for 3 doubles and 2 singles. The Indians' top 2 hitters, 3 doubles and a home run. And they lead it now 3-2. Jose Ramirez has yet to join the party. Fly to deep left in the first. Went to center field in the third. And looks at a pitch outside. Yeah, when Junis was in high school, he played mostly third base and was also a good basketball player. And he was going to North Carolina State on the baseball scholarship before the Royals coughed up some dough to get his pro career started. Jose sends a high fly ball to right. Jay will make the catch. Brantley tags. He's headed to third. Jay's throw way offline, and Michael goes in without a play. So a productive out for Jose Ramirez. It's Brantley over to third with 1 down, and now Edwin will try to bring him home. Kansas City will bring the infield in.
Now this is a spot here where you really want to see Edwin get that run home. I don't care how.
Well, he had a fielder's choice in the first inning. Flied to center in the fourth. And he pops this one back out of play. About the only thing you don't want to see him do is pop one straight up.
Or punch out.
Well, that goes without saying, right?
Yes.
He's in the hole 0-2.
And I'll tell you, Junis just keeps coming right at you. He doesn't hesitate.
I'd love to know some of the backstory on the scout that signed him. If he just kind of stumbled upon him. I mean, 29th round pick, and now this guy looks like he's got a chance to be one of the cores in their rotation for a while. Poor guy for them.
Well, and that was in 2011. He spent 6 years in the minor leagues, and there's only one other pitcher that's been able to come up after a 29th round pick in the organization and win as many games as he's won, 13. One other guy in the whole organization in their 50 years.
Wow.
That was drafted later than 29.
Yeah, that tells you.
That tells you
Yeah.
it was Jose Santiago, who was a 70th round pick in '94.
I remember Jose Santiago. Yeah.
Okay, but then he only lasted to 2004, and he won like 13 games.
Three-two pitch. Fouled away. I think I told you before, it might have been in spring training we had this conversation. John Wathen, who at the time was in player development, said about him, he's a sleeper. Nobody talks about this guy, but
it was.
he's
I
got
think
a
we
chance.
did. You're right. We talked about it in spring training. John Walton would know.
Moustakas and Brantley talking the strategy over there at third base. Infield in. Edwin trying to get Brantley home from third with a fly ball in the outfield. He strikes out. Just what you said you didn't want to see. 7 Ks for Jacob Junis, and there are 2 down. It's a good pitch, though. I mean,
well, a little two-seamer here. They run it down and in. He wasn't going to throw it for a strike. It's a pitch you can't really elevate, and he puts it down in the zone. If you want to swing, go ahead. If you want to take it, we'll give you first base. But he went after it. He wanted to drive that run in. That's a good pitch. Tip your cap.
And There's a veteran catcher for you too, Salvador Perez. He worked hard to get that out. He wants to go out and remind him, don't take a breath here because you got to get this third out.
And that was a veteran hitter you're facing. So he went at it. He got him to expand his strike zone.
Now Yonder Alonso trying to spoil that effort by Junis. He's 0 for 2 today. Takes outside, ball 1. Infield backs up. Second baseman Merrifield way out in shallow right field. And he chases one down at his feet. 1-1. Michael Brantley has driven in 2 of the Indians' 3 runs here this afternoon. Alonso with a base hit into right field. A 2-out RBI knock for Yonder. And the Indians have struck for 2 in the 6th and lead it 4-2.
Well, after swinging at a pitch in the dirt, he gets one he can handle, and that one looked like it might have been right down the middle. Let's see. You see, they wanted to go in, and he missed that ball. Look at, he's thinking, please catch that ball. He know he made a mistake. Didn't get away with it. They're playing him to pull. And he gets it into the outfield for a base hit. So that's a nice 2-out job of hitting there by Alonso to give him a 4-2 lead.
Jason Kipnis looks at a fastball away. Downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Way outside.
That was the first 2-out base hit of the day. And boy, it came at a great time for the Indians.
So Alonso and Kipnis are the first Indians not named Lindor or Brantley to reach base safely in this game today. And now 2 on with 2 out for Yan Gomes. That's going to bring out Cal Eldred. As you get a look at Kevin McCarthy loosening in the Kansas City bullpen. Hey, stop out at the Sports Time Ohio Indians live set before the game tomorrow. It's Sign Sunday. Bring your own sign, or you can make one with the guys. And your sign's good enough, you'll be on the telecast tomorrow.
Come on, we got to get a good one going tomorrow. Sign Sunday.
Well, it's Mother's Day. There's a lot of different ways you can go with it.
That's right. Look at that. No, that's cotton candy. I thought he had a big wad of bubble gum, but no, no, no.
Oh, look, there's a great piece.
Look at her. She's and he's gonna. It'll all fit.
Down there.
It'll all fit. She wants a picture of that. He's got the 1920s Cleveland hat on.
Love it.
Like that.
Love that hat.
I do too.
Back to live action. Yan Gomes 0 for 2. th pitch of the inning for Jacob Junis. It finally made him really have to work hard. He was, I want to say he was in cruise control, but he had retired 8 straight and it struck out the side on 11 pitches in the 5th inning. He came out here for the 6th. Lindor bashed him for a double. Brantley doubled home Lindor. And after he got a big second out of Edwin Encarnacion, Yonder Alonso may have broken his spirit a little bit with that RBI single.
That's what happened. Those 2-out hits, man. When you're in a tight game like this.
To the backstop, and it goes out of play. So Alonso is at 3rd, Kipnis at 2nd. On wild pitch.
Yeah, that'll be a wild pitch, his second. And watch, it'll be a backhanded attempt by Perez, but you can see he was down on that right knee, and he wasn't going to be able to move his body. He was thinking that ball's going to be a lot closer to him than he thought, so they'll just intentionally walk Gomes now.
And that's going to be it for Jacob Junis. And Yost has made up his mind with the bases loaded and 2 down. You got the youngster Greg Allen coming up, but he's going to go to his bullpen, feeling like this is crucial. Indians lead it by a score of 4-2. The Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made, and we'll be right back.
Lets you conveniently purchase, access, and forward your Indians tickets directly to your mobile device. Then have it scanned for entrance to the ballpark. Perfect. Don't need to print tickets.
New pitcher for Kansas City is right-hander Kevin McCarthy. After Jacob Junis went 5 2/3 innings. Charged with 4 runs on 6 hits, walked 2, 1 intentional, struck out 7, couple of wild pitches. The home run by Lindor, but he was really good through 5, but here in the 6th couldn't get that 3rd out of the inning, and that is so critical. And we've seen it time and time again this year with the Indians, the number of 2-out hits, 2-out home runs. They're demoralizing, but if you can't get that 3rd out to get your team off the field, it just seems like it just sucks the life out of you. Up the middle. And the flip from the glove hand to Escobar ends the inning. 2 for the try. Michael Brantley drives home 1. Alonso drives home another. It's 4-2 Cleveland.
to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio.
4-2, Cleveland on top. The cotton candy chaser. Seventh inning, Mike Clevenger will have Whit Merrifield, Alex Gordon, Alcides Escobar for Kansas City. 63 out of 88 pitches for Clevenger for strikes here today. A little high, ball one. Merrifield a single in the second inning, fly to deep right in the fourth. This guy stays on the ball very well. He can drive it to the opposite field. It's not a day where the ball is really carrying much, but
boy, not at all. He's one of those guys. Look at our defense, dead straight up, a lot like Michael Brantley. That means he hits the ball where it's pitched. He's got a very good approach. He's a good baseball player. Can run the bases. He's very good defensively as well.
slaps it the other way, but foul. Popped him up, shallow right. Geyer is there, and one down. Homestand wraps up tomorrow. Corey Kluber, Danny Duffy square off. Our coverage begins at 12:30 with Indians Live. All the action just after 1 right here on Sports Time Ohio. We're streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Can you call it a homestand if it's only 3 games?
It's a hard one to call a homestand.
It was a trip home to do some laundry. And
exactly.
Right back out.
There you go.
Alex Gordon 0 for 2. Ooh, good pitch. Fastball just missed inside.
Doubled up back in there. Same as the first time. It's in off the plate.
Fish aren't biting. That one
about 3 times.
Caught the inside corner though. 2-2.
That tells you he has to be looking away for something. Took 3 straight on the inside part of the plate. Then gets a changeup.
Last several years, beards are big in baseball. Yeah, Gordon's got pretty good growth there. Corey Kluber's got an impressive beard. We've seen Mike Napoli in the past. You remember anybody growing a beard, like an impressive beard back in the 70s?
They never let you. We're allowed.
Oh yeah, even with the Indians?
No, not really.
Not really a lot of facial hair.
It wasn't big back then. As a matter of fact, you go back to the days of Charlie Finley with the Oakland A's. I think he paid his players a couple $100 to grow a mustache, and that's how Raleigh Fingers started the handlebar and all that. Nobody else had facial hair.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Gordon and his beard. 4th strikeout for Clevenger.
Which went first, the beard or Gordon?
I think Gordon went swinging, the beard went following.
Yeah, okay. There you'll see a good curveball. 2nd out. 71% strikes today. So he continues to be consistent, pound the strike zone, mix his pitches.
You guys had some good flow. Nobody had.
Yeah, you had
Clevenger flow.
No,
nobody.
Not quite that long.
Yeah. But yeah, now that you
nice
mention
close
it,
too.
Oh,
the 70s.
The 1-0. I was thinking about Fossey. Do you see those pictures of him in Oakland with the mustache?
Yeah.
Bando.
That's where it all started. Charlie Finn would pay those guys to do it, and nobody else really had it that I can remember. Back in the 70s, I couldn't grow one, so it didn't matter.
Here's the 1-1. And a weak ground ball to short. Lindor throws him out. Great job by Mike Clevenger. No response runs, not even a base runner here in the 7th. The Indians lead it 4-2. Indians on top 4-2. Brandon Guyer, Frankie Lindor, Michael Brantley for the Indians. Kevin McCarthy got the last out to get out of the 6th inning. And stays on to start the 7th. Misses, blowing away ball 1. Pulls that foul. Well, that wind has died down a little bit, so that's certainly improved the conditions a bit here at the ballpark.
Well, most every ball that's been hit in the air today has been knocked down by that wind that was blowing in really strongly in that first 5 innings.
Slowly chopped to short. Big hop though for Escobar. 1 away. Time for our Miller Lite Hold True moment. Francisco Lindor. He had his consecutive streak with an extra base hit stopped last night at 9 games, but he didn't stop him today. Doubled his first time up, homered his second time up, doubled his last time up.
It upset him is what it did. He says, well, I didn't get one yesterday, so I'm going to get 3 today.
Made him mad.
Yes, it did. But I mean, he's had really good swings on hitting the ball where it's pitched today, and all 3 extra base hits. 24 on the season.
Already 14 extra base hits in the month of May, the most in the majors.
Yeah, Rosario had a couple last night. He's off to a good start for Minnesota.
But that's what we saw from Lindor last year, and that's what was so impressive about his season. It wasn't just the home runs, but it was the home runs combined with the doubles.
Triples, yes. Total package.
Batting average after the All-Star break was off the charts. The 1-1. He drives another ball up the alley. Deep left center field. It is gone! A home run!
all you can say right there is wow. He is putting on a display today. I mean, now he leaves the yard to left center field. And that, you know, we were talking about that wind cutting it down, so think about how hard he hit it. It's not blowing like it was earlier, but it doesn't matter. You've still got to give it a really good poke to get it out of here today. And he went up over that 19-foot wall.
Salute to his buddy Sandy Alomar, the first base coach. I'll tell you what, Archie is having one whale of an afternoon.
It really is. That's a great afternoon. 4 extra base hits in a ball game. If he can get 5, he'd have a good chance the way he's swinging it today.
Go back to our conversation at the top of our telecast when we were delayed by rain. And Andre joined us, and we were talking about Lindor and his evolving leadership in the clubhouse. I mean, he's still a very young player.
Yes.
But he's become really, I don't want to say the leader because that might ruffle feathers, but one of the leaders.
It doesn't. He leads by example. He goes out there and plays a game hard. If you come out here, you watch him work early. He does all his work. I don't think anybody works harder. He leads by example, and he's doing a tremendous job.
And it's what I said to Andre earlier. It's, look, easy to be a leader and to say the right things and to call the team meetings when things are going well. But where do you show up when things are not going well? And obviously he's done a first-rate job here this afternoon. And not just today, but all during this skid where the Indians have lost 10 out of 15. He's been at his best in a lot of those games.
Yeah, he has been
down defensively. He's taken it on the chin a couple of times, and he's not happy about some of the errors
but he owns up to it, too.
Yeah. Michael Brantley not shooting a bad stick today either, and he's got his 3rd hit of the afternoon.
Seven for 8.
Now, Lindor and Brantley 7 out of 8 on the afternoon. Our great clip of the game from yesterday, the grand slam by Michael Brantley, a 6-run 4th inning for the Indians. And he comes right back here today, first at bat, boom, ties it up. And in his last at bat, boom, he gave him the lead. He's Dr. Smooth. I mean, he's just very consistent with his approach. And, you know, we talked before about being a consistent person, not just a player, but person. You know, Brantley, he's the same every day as well. And he's been through a lot. You know, physically having to go through a lot of rehab and trying to get his body back on the field. Those are long, lonely, frustrating hours that he has had to put in to get himself back. But I tell you what, he has come back and he is swinging the bat as well as he ever has.
Well, it's his 2nd game being in the number 2 hole. And
couldn't get him out of there with a crowbar now.
No, there's no chance. He has 5 hits. 3 for 4 today. He was 2 for 5 yesterday.
Jose Ramirez pops it up right in front of the mound, and the pitcher is called off by Duda. 2 down.
Man, Rick, there's one other word I want to throw in when we're talking about Frankie. And we talk about being consistent. But he has a quiet confidence about him. He's always been confident, but it's different this year where he just feels, I remember when he was struggling, he goes, I'm not worried. I know what I can do. And I think that helps settle down a clubhouse just as much as anything else. And we talk about that with Kluber, where he shows up every day and they know what they're going to get from him because of their work ethic. And then it shows up at 7 o'clock or 4 o'clock or whenever the game starts.
Well, I think it is, I don't want to turn this into amateur psychology hour, but I think we all have a fear of the unknown. It's just a basic human. Oh, he threw it away and off to the races goes Brantley. He might go to 3rd. He's going to hit 2nd, keep on rolling. They won't even make a throw. So the errant throw allows Brantley to go all the way to 3rd. I didn't really see if McCarthy just uncorked a bad one.
Yeah, he did. It was a bad throw. It was a terrible throw.
Oh, yeah.
It was behind Brantley. And I'll tell you, Kansas City, that's only their 18th error. That's their first one in the month of May. They have done an outstanding job defensively. But the first error comes on a pitcher on a pickoff move. There's 2 outs, and I don't think Brantley was going anywhere in that situation. But only Kansas City's first error in that month. The Indians have had 11 in the month of May.
Ooh. Edwin knocked back 0 for 3 today. But just to finish the point, I think it's a basic human fear. We all have a fear of the unknown. So when you get a guy that you know what you're going to get when he shows up, Lindor, you know what you're going to get from Corey Kluber, just calms everybody down because there is no unknown. You know what you're going to get, or at least you have a pretty good idea.
Nowadays they come in and everybody's into their program, into what they do, their habit. They get in there at a certain time, they go through their rituals, and just be that same person when you walk through the door every day.
I never understood why veterans didn't like rookies. Now I understand, because you don't know what you're going to get, the fear of the unknown. Strike called, 2-1. Action in the Kansas City bullpen. Blaine Boyer getting loose. Indians up 5-2. Edwin takes it's low, 3-1. You can almost expect an off-speed pitch or something out of the strike zone here. No, he challenged him with a fastball, and Encarnacion fouled it off. See if he goes right back at him again. He did, and another foul ball. Now that one had some movement, and it might not have been a strike. The 3-2. Well, you can see Perez really demonstrative with that last sign he put down there for McCarthy.
Yes, throw it.
Can't keep it down.
Yeah, don't shake it off. Throw it. Let's go.
Ground ball up the middle, through, Encarnacion with a 2-out RBI single. And that might have been a backbreaker for Kansas City. 6-2 Cleveland.
Well, the backbreaker was the pickoff attempt where you made your first error in the month of May, and you allowed Brantley to go to third base with 2 outs, so a little seeing eye single gets you an RBI, and it puts another run on the board. So Lindor scored 4 runs today. Brantley has scored 2. There you go. There's a 6 runs for the Indians, and Encarnacion gets a 2-out single.
Now Yonder Alonso, 1 for 3. He had the big 2-out RBI hit last inning. One ball, 1 strike. Way inside, 2-1. balls, 2 strikes. $24,587 in attendance here this afternoon. Seeing the Indians come alive here in the last couple of innings with the bats.
That guy right there, 4 for 4, 4 extra base hits, 2 doubles, 2 homers on his own T-shirt day. Couldn't pick a better day to have a day like he's had.
Mr. Smile, but he's still intent on seeing the Indians get a win here this afternoon. He's not ready to flash those pearly whites just yet. McCarthy's payoff pitch, and Encarnacion takes off, and it's low, ball 4. Ned Yost has seen enough of McCarthy. He's going to make the move to the bullpen with 2 down here in the 7th inning. The Indians have 2 on, 2 runs in, and they lead it 6-2. T-shirts to the first 10,000 through the gates. He has gone out and given the fans a lot to smile about here today. He started with an opposite field double and scored the first run for the Indians. Then he homered his 11th of the year in the 3rd inning. Then in the 6th, another double, opposite field, came around to score another run. And then in the 7th, deep and gone yet again. So 4 hits, 4 runs scored, 2 doubles, 2 homers.
Yeah, that's what you call locked in.
You know, if you think back to our pregame chat with Andre, and he had that interview clip with Mike Clevenger, who said there are certain guys you just almost expect them. And he was talking about in Puerto Rico, how Lindor hit the home run. He goes,
right.
You knew he was going to hit a home run.
It's just a matter of
who's
when.
going to give it up. You know,
Yeah.
It was like you just knew it was going to happen. And so I guess none of us should be shocked or surprised that on a day, and I know it's maybe just a T-shirt, still a big deal for a player.
It's a great day.
Anybody that's a kid that got a Lindor T-shirt today will always remember.
They'll
the
never
day.
forget. He hit a couple of home runs. He had a great day. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Dan Otero and I had the same conversation about Lindor and about him cutting his hair off for the kids down at Mount Verde, the high school. And Dan said it's unreal how he can dedicate so much of his time to Puerto Rico, to that high school, to his teammates. And he says he's never worn out. He's the same guy, and he's the best player every night.
Jason Kipnis bounces the ball to first. Duda will take it himself, and that'll end the inning. What a day here at the Old Ball Yard. Francisco Lindor having himself quite an afternoon.
Start from Mike Clevenger and the offense doing what it has been this month. They have 6 runs on the board for him. Tribe up 6-2. Welcome back along with Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski. How about Francisco Lindor today? 12 total bases.
How about Tito Francona since moving Brantley to the 2 spot yesterday? He and Frankie combined 10 for 16, 9 runs scored, 3 homers, 8 RBIs, 6 extra base hits.
Well, touche.
Don't forget about my boy though, Sunshine. Been a pretty good day for Mike Clevenger too.
Absolutely. Join us for Indians Live after the game. It's brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. A lot to talk about.
Hey, Arch, did I hear you say we need to have Al with a good signed Sunday tomorrow? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, you sure. Yes, I did.
Maybe we can get his mom to help him out with the artwork.
Well, maybe.
That would be great.
Couldn't be any worse than me, that's for sure.
We've got crayons up here if you need them.
Okay, appreciate it.
And glue and scissors too. How about this? Lindor's day out of the leadoff spot. 4 extra base hits. The last Indians leadoff hitter to have 4 extra base hits in a game, Tito Francona, 1964.
No kidding.
That courtesy of the Indians PR department. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is very cool.
Ground ball towards Kipnis. Nice pick, good flip. 1 down. Mike Clevenger, he has had himself another strong afternoon on the mound.
He really has. He's been aggressive, throwing a lot of strikes. It was, what, 71% strikes after pitch number 100. And he just continues. And we're watching him mature right in front of our eyes. Every start he goes out there, something new, and I'm sure there's something new he learns every time out. Pretty much, you know, the first time we said 3 for 9 through the lineup, second time 3 for 9 through the lineup, third time 1 for 9.
Well, and it almost sounds like you're doing a discourtesy to Cleve when you say this, but being around the pitchers that he's been around the last couple of years, I think it's enabled him to sort of elevate everything, not just when he's on the mound, but all the stuff that goes into getting you to the mound on game day.
When you play with good or great players, it should elevate you.
Ramirez can't get to that one, and John Jay has himself a 1-out single, his 3rd hit of the day.
Those are resources you can tap daily. You know, when you're going to see a 2-time Cy Young Award winner, Carlos Carrasco finished 4th in the voting, and, you know, Bauer, who's improved over the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, why not use those resources? It's not a matter of somebody coaching you. Just watch, observe, you add it to your game plan and get after it. They say he's a perfectionist, so get after it. Tell him what you want him to know and teach him. He'll work his way through it.
Jorge Soler. This guy's hit everything in sight today. He's 2 doubles and a single.
Yes, the top 2 in both lineups have had an incredible day. There's 6 hits, 6 out of 7. The Royals' first 2.
And our 2 are 7 out of 8.
There you go. Can you do any better? I mean, the top 2 guys on both teams have been outstanding today. You talk about setting the table. They've set it, cleaned it up.
Yeah, they've done the
They
dishes.
did all the eating. Yeah, they cleaned up. They did it all.
1-1. Swung on and missed. Boy, Soler went to his back knee. He took a vicious cut.
He was trying to hit one out of here and get his 4th in. He's lucky he didn't pull an oblique. Look at that. Lift and separate right there.
Down in the dirt. Swung on and missed. Mike Clevenger with another good curveball strikes him out. That's 5 strikeouts on the afternoon. 2 down here in the 8th.
I like where he and Gomes stayed really slow. Slow it down on this guy. He tried to hit that other one out, and now with 2 strikes, he's protected. Did you see that look at Clevenger? He looked out there and sort of shook his head, say, okay, good pitch, you got me. He just tipped his cap right there.
Yeah, and after 115 pitches, Terry Francona says, great effort, young man. 7 2/3 innings for Clem.
He did his job.
A wave of the glove to the fans behind home plate. And Tyler Olson will be coming on when we come back. Today, and he's in line for his 3rd win of the season. New pitcher is Tyler Olson. Olson just back from the paternity list.
Like that, no walks on that card for Clevenger.
2 down, runner at first. Mike Moustakas 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Takes, and I guess it's inside ball 1. Olson and his wife Shayna welcomed a baby boy, Maddox, yesterday. So congratulations to both Tyler and Shayna. Just missed again, 2-0. High fly ball, right field. Dyer makes the catch. And the inning is over. We'll move to the bottom of the 8th. 6-2 Cleveland. Well, looking back at our storylines brought to you by your 4 dealers, the Royals. Well, there's no quitting this bunch. Last night they rallied from a 5-run deficit, but Mike Clevenger shut them down here this afternoon, and that has been the most important factor for the Tribe. And Brantley, man, he has fit perfectly into the order behind Francisco Lindor. And Tito, you know, look, he wanted to shake things up a little bit. Not for the sake of shaking things up, but Jason Kipnis was having a rough go of it. Drop him down in the order. You put Brantley in there. You know, it's almost like, Rick, if you've got a problem in the order and you want to move somebody, you can always move Brantley because it's almost become cliche, but it's true. He's not going to change who he is as a hitter.
True. Well, it certainly has worked out the first 2 games of this series. There's no doubt about it.
Yan Gomes fouling one back. How funny though, Joe Askew stopped by the booth with Max Alvis, our good buddy, and we were just, I told Max we were just talking about you. We were in Milwaukee and I was reading through.
Going to Detroit, wasn't it?
Well, is when they left from Seattle, the Pilots, to go to Milwaukee, he got traded from the Indians over to Milwaukee. Gomes drives one deep to left. And Max was throwing so much information in there, and we were in between the commercial break. But I think if I understood everything correctly, that's when Greg Nettles had come to the Indians.
Okay.
So they wanted to get a look at him.
Yeah, so that'd be 70, 71. Yeah, it makes sense.
And so they traded him to Milwaukee. But he said, I didn't play very well. He said they traded me right before the season began as Gomes strikes out. And Tommy Harper had a big year for the Braves, or the Brewers, excuse me. But always good to see those fine gentlemen. The immortal Joe Askew.
Yes, indeed. Well, we go back years.
Greg Allen 0 for 3 in the ball game, has struck out a couple of times. Right back here tomorrow, 1 o'clock start. Indians Royals wrap up the weekend series, and the Tribe will hit the road.
I'm glad you didn't say the homestand.
I just can't do it.
I know.
Can't do it.
I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad we had a discussion about that earlier.
And you know, and every year the schedule has its quirks, you know. But this year,
for everybody,
we got a weird deal. I think there's a point this year where we'll come home for a 2-game series
in June.
And go right back
the
out
5th and the 6th against Milwaukee.
Yeah.
We'll come in for a 2-game. Again, it's to do laundry and leave.
Here's the 0-2. And Greg Allen called out looking. Second strikeout for Boyer. 2 down in the inning.
KeyBank Kids tickets are just $10 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. They are located in the family deck out here next to the kids clubhouse, and they are only available at Indians.com. There they are. They're getting ready for tomorrow. It's Mother's Day. You run the bases. Come on out, have a ball. And there's a Mr. Smile shirt.
Yeah. Brandon Geyer is 0 for 3. Has struck out a couple of times. Yeah, you're right. That there's a stretch there where we have a 3-day road trip. No, it's a 4-day road trip followed by a 2-day homestand. Don't see those very often.
No, this is the first for that. But I'm sure everybody has the same thing. It's not the Indians. I'm sure everybody goes through it at some point in time throughout the course of the year. Because the season started earlier, they want to get a couple more off days mixed in there. And unfortunately this year there'll probably be more makeup dates than they've had to do in the past.
I just noticed we have another 3-game homestand, if you want to call it that. Right after the All-Star break, we go to Texas for 3 games, come home for Pittsburgh for 3 games, and right back out on the road again.
Let's not look at it. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Close the book.
Here's the 2-2 on the way to Geyer. And Boyer dishes it in the dirt. Geyer with a ground ball to short. Escobar, low throw, dug out by Duda. Nice play on the back end. Indians go in order. We go to the 9th. Cody Allen time, 6-2 Cleveland. Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. 6-2. Cleveland on top. Moving to the 9th inning. And Cody Allen will come on for the Indians to face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Royals. Salvador Perez, Lucas Duda, and Whit Merrifield scheduled to bat for Kansas City.
Yeah, I was looking at the numbers in Clevenger's last 2 starts. He's pitched 15 innings. He's thrown 231 pitches. And this is today was his first start where he didn't walk a batter. So that he's been lights out and stands to get his first home win this year.
Popped out of play to the right. Ground ball right at the third baseman, Jose Ramirez. 1 down.
To the plate now for the Royals, number 21, Lucas Duda.
Remember Robert Schuller, the TV evangelist?
Yes, okay.
Remember the Crystal Cathedral out there by the hotel we stayed in?
Yeah.
I remember he wrote a book one time, and the title of the book was "Tough Times Never Last, Tough People Do." And I think that's almost something appropriate for baseball, because when you think about it, you're going to go through some times where you might wonder if you're cut out for this line of work, kind of thing.
That's true.
And it's the tough people that
survive,
press through, and survive and stick around. And I bring that up because I don't want to pile on the bullpen, because nobody's pointing fingers. But since Andrew Miller went on the DL and since his return last night, the Indians have lost 10 out of 15. The bullpen's ERA is over 9 in those 15 games. The bullpen has allowed a run in 14 of those 15 games. The only one they didn't is when Carrasco went complete game.
Right.
So it has been a stretch where the bullpen guys have just probably been pulling their hair out as Cody Allen gets the strikeout and there are 2 down. And it's not that these guys don't have the ability. It's not like they lost their stuff overnight. But they're going through one of those stretches. As the old saying goes, it's their turn in the barrel. And the key is just surviving it, just trying to be mentally strong enough to get through it. And when you've got veteran leaders like Cody Allen and Andrew Miller who've been through a lot of that stuff, I think that helps kind of lead everybody.
They will definitely work their way through it. No question about it. They're too good not to.
Whit Merrifield takes a strike. He's 1 out of 3 today. He singled in the 2nd inning. He's flied to right in each of his last 2 trips. Foul back, and it's 0-2. $24,587 here this afternoon on another rather raw, chilly day in downtown Cleveland. The 0-2 from Cody Allen. Swung out and missed. Hayes struck him out to end the game. A perfect 9th for Cody Allen. And the Indians beat Kansas City 6-2 to even the series at a game apiece. The Indians even their record on the year to 19-19 to stay atop the Central Division standings. Mike Clevenger gets the win. He goes to 3-0 on the year. With the loss, Kansas City is now 13-26, and Jacob Junis is the loser for Kansas City. His record is now 4-3 on the year. So the Indians get it done. Great pitching from Clevenger. And the offense led by Lindor and Brantley beat back the Kansas City Royals here this afternoon. We'll have some final thoughts from Progressive Field right after this.